Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Havas Superstream. My name is Sarah Collinson and I am CEO of Havas New York, and I'm thrilled to be opening day 2 here with you at CES. The energy here in Vegas is just electric, and the innovations we've seen so far have been nothing short of extraordinary. From breakthroughs in health tech to advancements in XR, sustainability, and beyond, CES is truly where the future comes to life. At Havas, creativity is the foundation of everything we do, and we know that when combined with media and technology, can create real change and opportunities for our brand and client partners. And this year's theme, super. Supercomputer, superconductor, super intelligent, superhuman, superwoman. We are at the cusp of being able to do and be pretty much anything. And at that intersection of reality and possibility comes opportunity. Today is packed with insights, interviews, and exclusive demos. So stay with us and join in the conversation. And remember, we're not just here to witness innovation, we're here to create it. Let's get super.
Hi, we're here at CES with Kirill Chikyuk at Hypervision. Hi Kirill, how are you?
Hi, I'm very well. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. We are showcasing some pretty extraordinary holographics here. Kirill, I would love to hear more about Hypervision and all of these holographic systems you have.
Yeah, so we are Hypervision. We're based out of London. We love to be here at CES. What we're delivering, we are holographic, high technology hologram platform, and we deliver memorable, immersive experiences for brands, normally in their offline spaces. So we're all about human experiences, human emotions. That's what we do. That's the value that we deliver.
That's incredible. Now, can you give us some examples where people could see this in real time in the world?
Of course. So here in Vegas, we've got the Sphere, right? So the Sphere has got the largest permanent hologram deployment in the world at 50 feet tall, 11 times larger than this one behind us. And it's been there for 15 months now and running non-stop 24 hours. And so you can go to the Sphere and actually see it there.
Wow.
Yeah, Nike, for example, use our products, use hologram experiences at their stores, at their flagship stores. Again, and that is for human experiences here. So retailers today try not to focus on physical products in store anymore because you can buy them online. Yeah, and so retailers fight to the online world. And so why are you better? Yeah, you're better because you can have an experience, in-store experience. So how do you do that? So music, yeah, and then the holograms as well. You can interact with the hologram. And so that brings this level of engagement to people, and yeah, it's basically people's engagement and interaction and experience.
Great, that's awesome. And do you have are there any problems that this technology can solve, or any examples that you have off the top of your mind that this could solve?
Yeah. Everything in this world is driven by human emotions, our desires, if you will. And it just happens that our best experiences happen in our real life, right? And in our 3D world. And so right now we're seeing each other in 3D world. I'm touching this 3D microphone.
Yep.
Everything is 3D, yeah? This is the way we're born, yeah, in 3D. And so naturally, we as humans would like to see digital content in 3D as well. Not in 2D, as has been happening up until today. There's absolutely no reason why we would ever see 2D content. So again, naturally, yeah, because it just delivers better experiences to us as humans. So it all goes back again to experiences, and this is the value that we deliver to our customers, human experiences.
Yeah.
So it's all about attention grabbing, dwell time, recall, so emotional connection with the audience. Yeah, when you see this type of content, look at this.
Great.
When you see this type of content, look at all those people. Yeah, they're taking out their phones and shooting. They love it. Yeah. It's not it's not that they just love it, they actually have this visceral feelings, yeah. And so when you see a piece of content and you have real feelings associated with this content, there is a big value in it. And so later on, in a week time, 2 weeks time, you're going to remember it, yeah. So there's big value in it, so recall is important. So that's the value, the core value that we deliver. Again, it comes back to how we're made as humans, yeah, our biology, if you will. Then, when it comes to businesses, of course, businesses need to somehow project it into their P&L, yeah, and say, all right, so what does it do for us, yeah? So normally, if it's either return on experience, this is a term in retail, or it's sales uplift, footfall increase. If you put the hologram in a window display in a very busy location, so a lot of people are going to stop and ultimately they're going to walk into a store. Yeah, so footfall increase. And then there is just, a lot of companies are using our products whenever they launch something new. For product launch, this is great. You launch a new product and you show it in a holographic way in a particular environment.
Incredible. I mean, that's just fascinating. Those emotions are emotions you want to hold on to, too, and that's awesome. Where's the future going for Hypervision? Because this is awesome, and I want to see more.
Yeah, so we're working a lot around interactive applications. So here we have a pick and learn station, and we have physical products, and you can lift a particular product. You can have a look at this product and you can see information about this product in a holographic way, which is highly engaging.
Wow.
And this is a great solution for retailers. Again, because it delivers this in-store, highly engaging experience.
Very cool.
People not just looking at it, but actually studying the product and seeing the information in a holographic way.
Very awesome. Wow. This is all very extraordinary. Thank you so much for taking time to talk to us and explaining everything to us. Thank you guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Welcome. So glad that you're spending the morning with us at CES. I'm Megan Frigno. I'm a SVP, CFO, and Chief Data and Analytics Officer at Destination Canada. Destination Canada is Canada's national tourism organization, and I am joined here today with...
Hi, I'm Trevor Carr. I'm founder CEO of Noise Digital, proud member of the Havas family. I only have one title, just the one, it's president, but you're more important than I am.
Just as important, Trevor. So we're here to dive into a topic that we think spans multiple industries. It's really important for tourism, for sure. But what we're finding is we're working in a really competitive landscape. And we're finding that we need to have good data to create good AI so that we can compete. We need to harness the power of AI so that we can do more than just reach our customers. We can understand them. We can turn data into connections and insights into actions. And we've done that. We've created what we're calling the Traveler Twin to bring that to life. Traditionally, we've gone through really long static reports and we've had traditional personas, and it worked, sort of. It was good. But at Destination Canada, I have the immense privilege of working with some of the best marketers in the business. And despite having leading edge data, award-winning data, and analytics, it's really hard to keep pace. We are always racing. Our traveler is evolving, the industry is evolving, marketing is evolving. And we need something that is going to break through, that can pace us faster than that evolving change. And so we started to think about some different questions we could start asking about how we work. We wanted to ask questions like, what if I could just talk to the data instead of going through a report? What if, it was like talking to a colleague and I could just ask it a question? How could I bring that to life? What if we could take the creative intuition of Mad Men and pair it with the analytical rigor of Silicon Valley? I hope somebody got that reference here. I love it. But that's what we're doing. We're bringing that all together. And we have brought that together in the digital twin. It is revolutionizing the way that we can interact with data. We're finding that when we had generative AI enter the picture, that was the tipping point for us. It really pushed us to have a natural language conversation with the data. We couldn't do that before. So now we can start to envision a future where we don't have spreadsheets, where we're not relying on a dashboard, where we don't have these big reports we have to siphon through, and we can just have a conversation with the data. And that's where we are today, and it is so exciting to bring that to you. So we've taken all this customer data, paired it with generative AI, and we've essentially created a synthetic persona, and it allows us to do a couple of things that we weren't able to do before. It makes it accessible to everyone. You do not need to be a tech expert, a data analyst, data Sherpa, whatever you want to call it. You can just talk. I think most of us can prompt. That's all you need to be able to do. It is always learning and reacting to new data feeds. So as new data comes online, we can feed it in. It means that we are going to have insights that are very relevant and at the front of this. And finally, it allows us to bring solutions to the forefront. It means that if you want to test a creative, it's like having virtual focus group. It's bringing it into the workflow of how we're working. We used to create big dashboards, and we would do a lot of requirements, and then we put the dashboards in front of our marketers, and then they'd be like, oh yeah, that's a really cool point. We got 40 more questions. Now we can ask those questions in real time. It's a game changer. But of course, we couldn't do it alone, so we worked with some of the best in the business, of course. Trevor's company, Noise Digital, Havas Company. We got our tech stack built on Google Cloud, and that was really important for us to have a future-enabled tech stack. We're using Gemini AI, and we're really excited about how this can bring really relevant data to our users. We talked about data being important, having good data to drive good AI, and that's where we started. We brought all of the data. We talked to thousands of travelers across the world in all of our markets to ground this AI. We have more than 3.5 million data points that we have used more conventional AI, like machine learning, to build out our segments. And then we've honed into our segments onto the ones that really matter, our highly engaged guests. And you're going to get to talk to them today. We're going to get to talk to an outdoor explorer, and maybe you might even get to meet them. What we wanted to do is create a digital conversation with our best guests, and that's what you're going to see. But it is disclaimer time. This is live, and this is a prototype. We are still working on it. So somebody convinced me it was a great idea to do a live demo, so we're going to do it. Trevor and I are going to have a conversation with our outdoor explorer.
I dressed up as one of the personas
I think
today,
you did.
so,
You wanted to embody.
I'm an outdoor explorer, if you couldn't tell. So let's test this out. Again, live test, just so everyone's aware. Here's the interface.
Excellent. So
where should we start?
Where should we start? Let's start talking to our US outdoor explorer. Let's find a little bit of the general basics first. So we're going to go right in here, and we're just going to talk to the system. So if we wanted to talk to US outdoor explorer, let's ask them what they think about traveling to Canada and what phrases resonate with you. So as a US outdoor explorer, when you think about traveling to Canada, what phrases would resonate with you?
Untamed wilderness, epic adventures, discovering hidden gems. Again, Canada, we have some, some very, amazing outdoor experiences. So I think this is a good example of some of the ways that we can market to them.
For sure. And what if we wanted to test a specific word or a tagline? Let's see what that might do.
Like legendary. I think
Yeah,
Canada is legendary.
That's pretty legendary.
Yeah.
As an outdoor explorer, would using the word legendary in our marketing resonate with you? Ooh.
Legendary landscapes.
Definitely
legendary
gonna grab.
adventure. So these guys, they want adventure. They definitely want that, I think, authentic experience that you were talking about before. So this is a good insight into kind of this particular persona.
Yeah. So that's really our traveler twin. You're going to see how we're having a conversation with the data. And we've done that here. But of course, this is CES. And we wanted to
What else could we do?
Yeah, we wanted to do something a little bit extra here. So we've taken our personas and we've fed our segments into a hologram. We just spent some time talking to the outdoor explorer and we really wanted to bring it to life with you. So without further ado, why don't we meet Jack, our outdoor explorer.
Hey, I'm Jack Coleman. For me, travel is all about the challenge. Pushing myself both physically and mentally while discovering new places that take my breath away. There's nothing better than standing at the summit of a tough hike or navigating a trail that tests your limits. When I plan trips, I keep it simple. Book the basics and let the rest unfold naturally. It's the unexpected that makes a journey unforgettable, like scaling a rocky ridge in Banff or cycling along the Cabot Trail in Nova Scotia. Those moments of effort and reward stick with you. What drives me is the feeling of accomplishment that comes from taking on something new. Whether it's paddling across a pristine lake, climbing to catch a sunrise, or exploring the raw beauty of Canada's wilderness. Every challenge reminds me why I love the outdoors. Canada has this way of combining adventure and awe. The landscapes are vast, the trails are endless, and the opportunities to push yourself are everywhere. The place that keeps calling me back, one challenge at a time.
Very cool.
Very cool. So that brings it to life for you for just a moment. But we talked to travelers all over the world. We have all of these different markets. Now we're going to bring a different traveler to life. We have a persona from the UK. They're called our refined globetrotters. And this is going to give you a chance to meet Sophia.
Hello, I'm Sophia Trotwell. Travel has always been a way for me to connect with culture, with nature, and sometimes with myself. I gravitate toward destinations that feel timeless, places that tell a story or evoke a sense of wonder. When I plan a trip, I like to have the essentials mapped out, where I'll stay, the must-visit spots, but I always leave room for discovery. Some of my most cherished experiences were unexpected, like stumbling upon a quiet vineyard in Nova Scotia during harvest season, or discovering a secluded retreat in British Columbia, where nature feels endless. What I value most about travel is its ability to inspire. Whether I'm exploring the historic streets of Quebec City, savouring the flavours of Canada's wine regions, or taking in the tranquility of a remote lodge surrounded by untouched wilderness, every journey reminds me to slow down and appreciate life's beauty. Canada is a place that has all of this and more, from the rich stories of its cities to the serenity of its landscapes. It's a destination that resonates with anyone seeking meaning and connection.
Wow, interesting. Who doesn't love a hologram?
I think everybody loves a
We
hologram.
all love the hologram.
So hopefully that brought that to life. We've showed you what our traveler twin can do, how we're using generative AI, and really good data to drive good AI. And that's what we brought to you today at CES.
Thank you very much. Well, we just wrapped up our demo of the proof of concept for our digital twin. How do you think it went?
I think it really came to life. I think, we were able to show how we brought together all of our research and customer data, paired it with generative AI, and put together a synthetic persona that we could have a conversation with. I think it was pretty amazing.
So synthetic persona, like what do you mean by that exactly?
Well, it really is using generative AI to create a digital twin of the traveler, and we're calling it the traveler twin. So it means that you can just have conversations with the data instead of going through big reports or going into spreadsheets. I think it's really making it accessible to everyone.
So the future of AI and Destination Canada obviously is embodied in this new AI product, Agent. So the agentic world that we're sort of in right now, where agents are automating our processes. Where are we going with this now with Destination Canada?
I think for Destination Canada, it was really important that we had good data to feed good AI. I mean, that's really the building blocks we need, whether it's agentic, whether it's going even further. We are well positioned to really grab onto any of those trends that come forward and start testing them out and prototyping. We were able to show how quickly we could bring something to life and demo it here today.
And I think that's the key. So we built everything on an integrated Google framework, and we saw how quickly we could get something up and running.
Yeah. I think for us, CES provides an amazing showcase for us to bring our prototypes to life. We were even able to take it a step further because it is CES. We were able to take our personas and make them a hologram. So we really got to see the flavor of the work that we're doing in a digital format, in a digital reality. So that was exciting for me.
I mean, very exciting to see kind of all of the new technologies that are being unveiled. Obviously, AI, topic of discussion that everyone's talking about. Obviously, our POC, the most exciting thing at CES. But
Hands down.
Actually bringing data to life and having that personified with a hologram was really cool. I really love that.
And I think, if we're thinking about what else we want to do at CES, I think looking at the floor tour, getting inspiration, seeing where we can take this next and what's going to inspire our next prototype that we're going to work on together.
And I think some of the trends we're seeing, obviously health and wellness here at CES and like health tech, that does dovetail a lot into the tourism industry because people use travel and tourism as a way to regenerate.
To support their well-being.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I think for us, we can try new things, we can stay curious, we can always be testing different things, and that's really what's going to help us leapfrog. We have that foundation in place that helps us rapidly deliver.
So what's the future? What do you think we're going to do next? What's the next product we think we should be looking into?
I think, we've got the data feeds coming in. How do we start actually putting this right into workflow?
Yeah.
How do we take the steps out of it, take the steps out of our processes, and just have AI take over some of that workflow for us?
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, the future is looking bright.
Very
Having this
exciting.
platform in order to build all these interesting new AI products is very, very exciting. So I'm
Yes.
looking forward to next year and coming back to CES.
Me too.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm here at CES with Katrina Herman at Withings. Hi, Katrina.
Hi, Teresa.
We would love to know more about Withings and where the mission is going.
Yeah, absolutely. So Withings is a French connected health company with an ecosystem of connected health products, ranging from smart scales to smartwatches, blood pressure monitors, a sleep tracking mat, a home urine lab, All the products sync via Wi-Fi or Bluetooth to our free With Things app, where you could track your trends over time, get personalized health feedback, and also share data with your doctor if necessary.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and can you talk more about the products that we have in front of us and tell us all the benefits of it and overall how it improves?
Yeah, absolutely. Before I dive into the products, I want to actually showcase our Omnia booth experience, because that is fueled by our products and it will help explain the story a little bit better. So this year at Omnia at CES, we're presenting our Omnia booth experience. Omnia is our vision of the future of health, fueled by our existing products and services available within the With Things app. So when you step on Omnia, it takes measurements of one of our smart scales. So our full body composition, so fat, muscle, bone, water, heart rate, and ECG. So the measurements that our body scan connected health station takes. And then on top of that, the screen of the Omnia experience loops in the health measurements taken by the rest of our With Things ecosystem. So activity data from our smartwatch, and ECG measurement from our smartwatch or our smart scale, blood pressure data, sleep data, any data from any With Things product that you have from the comfort of your home. And then it's shown on the Omnia screen, and then using integrated generative AI, Omnia provides personalized feedback to help make sense of the health measurements that are complementary. So it will help compare your blood pressure to your ECG, your activity to your sleep, to help the consumer make sense of it, because it's only useful to have this accurate health data if you know what to do with it. So once you receive the AI feedback directly on the Omnia screen, at the end of the experience, you'll get the recommended next steps. So one recommended next steps is a service that's available already on the With Things app called Cardio Checkup. So Omnia will recommend to the user to send their next ECG measurement if an AFib episode was detected, let's say the day before, to send the next ECG measurement directly to the cardiologist available within the With Things network through our service called Cardio Checkup. So this is a service that's launching this month in the With Things app. So even though Omnia is in a futuristic form factor and it's not available for sale, it's just a futuristic form factor, but it's representing our vision for the future of health using existing products and services. So essentially, the future of health is already here within the With Things app.
Right. And it's the future of people's homes too.
Absolutely.
Right? They're staying connected at home, monitoring their own health, and sending that over to their doctor.
Absolutely.
All day. That's
so
incredible.
The vision of With Things is actually to improve the lives of our users by embedding more health features into products that users already use within their everyday lives. So smartwatches, to smart scales, to blood pressure monitors. So our goal is to democratize healthcare by creating beautiful products that are easy to use and have long battery lives, so to encourage users to track their health over the long term.
Yeah, that's incredible.
And from the comfort of their home as well.
Most importantly.
Yeah.
Right? Amazing. And what's been the reception at CES so far?
The booth has been buzzing. So
I see.
We've had such good feedback on the stand for even just having this forward-thinking future of healthcare concept. And on top of that, whatever we're presenting on Omnia is already existing. So though it's our vision of the future, we are also demonstrating products that are already available for sale. So we've gotten such great feedback from retailers to journalists to just technophiles themselves or existing With Things consumers that are coming to our stand. And it's really, really amazing to hear their stories, if they have personal health stories of how our products have already improved their lives or detected their conditions like AFib or sleep apnea.
Yep.
And to be honest, that just drives us as a company to keep on going further, innovate more products and services that are accurate, FDA cleared, and improve the lives of future consumers moving forward.
Absolutely, and continuing learning for consumers.
Yeah.
They're taking control of their everyday lives.
Absolutely.
That's incredible.
Absolutely.
Well, I would also love to see this in action. I know you have a B2B monitor available for us to see if we can.
Absolutely. I'd love to show you.
Awesome. So I think we're going to introduce
Sadie
more
from our B2B business, and she'll talk about the B2B business and one of our key products that we're presenting at CES called BPM Pro 2. So I'll hand the mic over to Sadie.
Awesome. Thank you.
Hi, Teresa. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. I'm Sadie Moore. I'm the sales manager on the Withings Health Solutions team. So I handle our partnerships for our B2B partners. Withings Health Solutions is the division of Withings that's dedicated to serving the healthcare providers across the U.S. in different digital healthcare programs where people might need to use Withings Health Solutions. Patients are consumers too, so let's get them some nice, easy-to-use devices.
Beautiful. And I see this is a beautiful B2B monitor, right?
Yeah.
Can you tell us more about the product, how it works, and how it benefits?
Absolutely. So this is our BPM Pro 2. This is our newest cellular blood pressure monitor. Withings actually invented the idea of a connected blood pressure monitor quite a while ago. And then we brought a cellular blood pressure monitor to our B2B division about 4 years ago. So the amazing thing about cellular devices is they don't require any interaction with an app or a smartphone to get them set up. So if we can think about maybe a little bit less tech-savvy community or people who don't need any barriers of entry in the way of getting started with their device, these cellular devices are so great for healthcare programs to be able to get people started on a blood pressure monitor as easily as possible and be able to view that data in their system. So their doctor or their coach or their provider is viewing their blood pressure data while they're in the comfort of their own home. So we're super excited that we won a CES Innovation Award for this BPM Pro 2, and we're excited to see where it can go in the market.
Amazing. Wow. And so you're saying this is consistently monitored from home, constant communications with their doctors too on it.
Exactly.
That's absolutely beautiful. Wow.
Yeah, what's really crazy is the ability for two-way communication, and that's something that has not really been seen as much in the remote patient monitoring world on a device itself. So right now people, nurses, doctors, providers are having to call patients every single day and ask them the same 7 to 10 questions about their symptoms, about their medication, to complement the blood pressure readings, give some context around the readings. So what we actually built is the ability to ask those questions right in this device. So providers, nurses, caregivers, when they do have those patient interactions, they're able to have more meaningful interactions given the information that they already got right from the device itself.
Amazing. Wow. Well, thank you so much. Thank you both so much for being here, taking the time to talk with us more about Withings, and thank you guys.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming by the booth.
All right, why don't you introduce yourself first?
Sure, Tom Keith Welsh, Senior Director for Digital Health and Innovation Strategy at GSK.
All right, and I'm Eric Weisberg. I'm Global Chief Creative Officer at Havas Health Network. So you head up innovation at GSK. Obviously, this is your sweet spot.
Absolutely.
What impressed you this year that you want to bring home?
Well, I think looking at the specific track around digital health has been really interesting, and seeing the breadth and depth of technology and innovation that is being developed still at its very early stages in the space has been really interesting. Now, if I'm being honest, to quote someone else, it's a bit of a hot mess in terms of ecosystems and environments.
Yeah.
But I think, if you look at the way that these things develop, the integration and the things that really change people's behaviors and has impacts on their lives are going to be the ones that win out.
Yeah.
Now, and there's no way of predicting that right now, but there's an awful lot to think about, from very low-tech items coming from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation through to an AI-enabled cat litter tray, which slightly blows my mind.
Yes, it's crazy. Crazy stuff. So we live in a time where every brand is a health brand, where consumer brands are becoming health brands, where health brands are becoming consumer brands. What do you think that means for GSK and its products?
Well, it certainly widens the number of partners that we want to talk to. And again, we're really interested in what is changing things for patients. And so the ones that really have an impact, that integrate, that have a great customer experience, are the ones that are really going to catch our attention.
Yeah.
And so, as I say, that space is still up for grabs, and obviously varies depending on the patient groups we're looking at, the products we're looking at, the diseases we're trying to help, and the populations that are going to be impacted by this technology.
Yeah, I think you bring up an important thing about, and you head up strategy, so this has got to be key to what you think of. The customer experience in the consumer brands is ahead of the B2B space, and I think we're quickly seeing the expectations from physicians, from payers, from the lot, that they are going to have consumer level experience.
Absolutely, and that's been historically something that the pharma and life sciences industry has had to challenge with, but I don't see any reason why we shouldn't have those expectations, and it's certainly something I've been pushing for personally for a long time. And as you start to see the bleeding of the edges between smart home technology, we've seen Withings with their smart mirrors to be able to do full health assessments at home, OnMed providing cabins in remote and underserved communities to do basic health checks quickly, easily and cheaply. There's a huge amount of opportunity here. We'll see where that ends up. But certainly from our perspective, there's a lot to think about. But we're always very focused on the, what's the impact for patients that we serve.
Sure. Well, have a great CES. It was great meeting you.
Likewise.
And have a good trip home.
Great. Thanks very much indeed.
Welcome back to the Superstream, live at CES at the Havas Café, and you are joining us for an incredible panel, connecting culture to commerce with some brilliant talent and thought leadership from Amazon. Very lucky to have them joining us today. So introducing our guests on the panel, Molly Hopp from Havas, our EVP of Commerce here at Havas Media Network. We're also introducing Tanner Elton, Vice President of US Advertising Sales for Amazon. And last but by no means least, it is Wayne Purbo, VP of Amazon Shoppable Video. Thank you all for joining us.
Thank you.
What are you thinking about creators in terms of versus creators and kind of traditional advertising? Although Molly's quite rightly already corrected me for using that kind of semantics.
Yeah, I think Wayne touched on this a little bit, that the way that we engage with customers is richer now than it's ever been. And it's innately because we are very curious. We're a very curious species. Mm-hmm. And so when we're able to provide more ways to engage and interact, it changes the way you think about the content that you have. When you do that with relevancy and authentically, that's when you can enhance that experience in a way that really changes how you think about the content creation. So now, it's not just, can we create a show that's going to entertain you? That's table stakes, right? Now that we've created a show that's going to entertain you, what are the ways that we can allow you to have a richer experience by going deeper into that show? How do we make sure that the advertising that's part of that show has a level of relevancy, so if it sparks curiosity in you, you can learn more and go deeper into that experience? And what we found as we've done that is we respond well to it. Consumers like that experience, and it actually enhances in many ways their viewing experience the more you go into that. So at Amazon, we have things like X-Ray, which allow you to go deeper into content to see, well, who is that? What are they wearing? Create shoppable experiences in that. And the response has been phenomenal. So when you think about how we're creating content, what does content creation mean? It means it's not just this one thing anymore. It's all these different areas where you can engage in meaningful ways to enhance the curiosity that people naturally have.
Yeah, it really feels like a moment here where we're evolving that idea of what a media experience is. Mm-hmm. And Wayne, I'm going to come to you now specifically around shoppable video. Can you center us from a product perspective on that in this broader cultural conversation?
And first and foremost, I've been asked a lot of times, we've been on a mission at Amazon to introduce more and more video in the shopping experience. And mm-hmm. Folks have asked me why we're doing that, because a lot of people just use .com as a utility. They do a quick search, they find the product, and they purchase it. And for a long time, the key metrics for Amazon were all about how quickly you could find that product, make a purchase, and be on your way. What we found that video does is that we see, one, our best customers watch a video before they make a purchase. Our best customers spend more after they've watched a video. Folks who, one of the creator stats that I like to refer to is when we survey a customer, 71% of them say they feel better about their purchases because they've heard the recommendation from a creator. 96% of customers that watch Amazon Live session will then take action regarding that brand or that product that they've seen in the stream immediately after they've seen that stream. So we know that video is doing its job. We see lower returns for people that watch video. We know that video is doing its job in helping customers make great purchase decisions. And we want to look for new opportunities across .com to introduce video. To help customers do that.
So let's talk about live shopping in a bit more depth. Where's live shopping going? We're seeing some differences across countries. We're seeing some differences in experiences. What's your view for live shopping ahead, in as much as you can share?
For me, there's a couple of different solves that live shopping enables. One, we make purchases for different reasons. Some of the time, we are a fan of someone, a creator, could be an actor, some sort of an influencer, we're a fan, and we just want to buy everything that they touch. Traditionally you've seen, things like Martha Stewart being able to sell a bunch of stuff just based on the Martha Stewart brand. But then you see other people, like we have Paige DeSorbo in the beauty category, or Lala Kent, who just had a baby, who's selling a ton of baby stuff for us right now. Folks are just drawn to these personalities and the authenticity of these personalities, and they want to work with those recommendations. But what live allows them to do is to engage with those personalities. So you get the examples of folks, and I can't remember which influencer it was, but she was asked by someone through the chat to change the shoes that she was wearing with a pair of pants, because they wanted to see how the brown shoes would look versus the black shoes that she was wearing. This is the type of engagement that customers want. They want to lean in.
I think that's fascinating insight. We are going to see shortly an incredible live shopping experience developed with a brilliant brand in terms of showing that experience. And there's a couple of things that I want to pick up on that in terms of that idea of compression of the funnel into that moment, and also the need for this isn't the same context as it is in China or perhaps elsewhere. Molly, would you want to sort of speak to that for a moment in terms of your thinking around these kind of shopable or commerce moments being something that is full funnel, isn't a discrete experience?
Yeah, I think two things, and I think it answers what you're asking. Number one is what's been a really interesting time, 2024, 2025, is the impact that the pandemic had, and I think our misunderstanding of how people would or would not return to the real world.
Yeah.
People did. They've gone back to brick and mortar. They want that shopping experience. But what I really like about shoppable experiences, shoppable media, is that it kind of capitalizes on people's need to go back to more of an experience versus a utilitarian, but not necessarily still have to leave the comfort that they found when they didn't have to leave their couch. So I think just, again, looking at it in terms of what customers want, what humans want, I think that's really interesting. Something that's maybe a divergence from what you're asking, but I do think is also interesting when we're thinking about how we understand both an omni-channel experience and again, who we're talking to, is that I think there's often a misperception that retail media and retail and shopper data are one and the same, but they're not. And so everything that we're learning across, Amazon Live, but the entire ecosystem is technically, or I guess we define it as retail and shopper data. But what we're doing really well at Havas is taking those insights and really understanding how that allows us to understand who, again, people are, who audiences are, and not just using it to inform on what is a traditional retail media activation, which I think is a really exciting time for us.
Love that. Thank you so much for that closing remarks. An amazing live media experience, and can't wait to see what comes next.
So here we are at CES. We just had an incredible conversation about culture to commerce, how things are changing. What are some of the big takeaways you guys had from today's conversation?
Yeah, I mean, it was a wonderful conversation in terms of really how we're being smart and understanding the evolution of what consumers want. I talked about this a bit on the panel, but I think we made assumptions during the pandemic that people had changed their shopping behavior. It was going to be more utilitarian and e-commerce, but people are back in the world and they want to engage. And I think something really exciting is how Amazon Live is doing that, breaking the barriers down between e-commerce and that really engaging experience that people are looking for.
Yeah, I think about the conversation we had today, and it really reinforces a lot of thoughts we have. It helps me to think about 2025 and our roadmap and how do we accelerate that and know that there are brands and partners like Havas that are aligned with us and have the same thinking. So really, really exciting future.
Yeah, just the changing relationship with how customers are engaging with brands, how they're discovering things, the conversations they're having. You were talking about that, Wayne, how the types of search queries you get are totally different now.
Yeah.
And how that changes a brand's ability to engage and interact and really deliver something of value to customers. Like that to me is incredibly exciting. And then what you said, Molly, which I loved, is people are going back to brick and mortar as the post-pandemic things changed. Wayne, you brought up in the panel that a lot of times you think about Amazon Live, that this is a media, it's going to drive things on Amazon, but it actually drives mass awareness that will drive people into brick and mortar as well.
Yeah, absolutely. The product awareness, brand awareness that this media, and being able to be very situational, show these products, how they're being used together, really solves customer problems and helps to help customers make better purchase decisions.
Yeah. Any other big takeaways from CES this year?
Other than AI?
Yeah, other than AI.
There's this AI thing.
Robotics, autonomous vehicles, it's all there.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair. AI is exciting, but I also feel like we need to be careful of doing it for the sake of doing it and doing it for something that, is growing.
Totally.
Yeah.
I love what you said about being fixated on the results, like the outcomes, not the mediums, but like, are we driving the outcomes? Because I've seen with all the applications of AI, there is the opportunity to complexify that, to over-engineer it. Yeah. And you have to ask yourself, well, am I actually getting a better outcome? Or is it just, a fun new tool to mess around with?
Right, tech for tech's sake.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I think this is where brand and marketers have to have a voice. They have to be part of the conversation around AI to make sure we have those guardrails in place and that we're delivering value for our customers.
Hi, I'm here at CES with Tae Hyuk at We Robotics. Hi Tae, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
Good. Can you walk us through what We Robotics is, what it does?
Okay, so we are We Robotics. We're based in South Korea. What we do is we create products, a wearable robotics technology that we could wear around our waist. We do have other models where we could wear it on our back for posture. But today at CES of 2025, we're advertising the product of WIM, which stands for We Innovate Mobility. Basically what it does is it's a wearable that is accessible for any users. It aids and also strengthens users to walk more efficiently and a lot more easily.
Nice. Can you tell us a little bit about We Robotics, how it got started, the background of the company?
Yeah, sure. So We Robotics started at June 2021 by 4 former Samsung Electronics engineers, and they aimed to solve problems for elders who tend to have problems walking. So we decided to create a robotic wearable technology that's lightweight and that's adjustable within less than 30 seconds.
Right.
So that way walking becomes a lot easier for them. So that way daily activities don't become much of a burden.
Right, that's great. Aside from walking, I'm sure marathon runners or people who are into fitness, health fitness, or just runners in general, exercise, how would this solve for them, or is there a problem for them that they could resolve with?
Yeah, so we actually started off by having our target audience as elders, those in need for helping for daily activities like walking or jogging in general. But we also noticed that these actually help athletes and also rescue teams in Korea. We actually have a mode called exercise mode where it actually does the opposite of assist mode. Basically, it puts resistance to these limbs over here, making it harder for users to raise their knees up. So that way it becomes like a workout, becomes like some sort of resistance training.
Oh wow, so you could actually put the mode on more resistance, less resistance.
Correct, yeah. It's pretty cool.
That is really cool actually. You could do your own workout at home or on a run or in the woods or anything like that. Right. That's really incredible, wow. And you said it's super lightweight, and can you tell us more about how the product is made maybe?
Yeah, so to simply put, we have this compartment over here. We have a single actuator, that's the motor, and then we have a replaceable battery over here, but we could also charge it. The battery duration depends on how intense you use it. If you use it at lower intensity, you could use it for about 5 hours. If you use it at a higher intensity, you could use it up till 2 hours. But if you're in exercise mode, where it actually puts resistance to these limbs, you could actually use it for an unlimited amount of time because it
Okay.
actually self-charges.
Wow, that's pretty cool. How long? What would you say would be like the everyday usage of this as far as time goes? If people are
I would say long daily walks are really useful.
Yep.
Elders found it really helpful when it comes to just taking a walk in the park,
Right.
or running errands at Trader Joe's, or
Yeah.
any local markets. Personally myself, I'm a runner. I do a lot of various endurance training, and recovery runs are essential for me.
Right.
So I would use these for recovery jogs, going at conversational paces while adding resistance to these devices. So that way, I don't put too much strain to my joints, but at the
Absolutely.
same time, I'm actually strengthening the necessary lower body muscles around my hip joint.
right.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, I would love to see a demonstration of this.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Great.
So we have 4 different modes. I'll take you to the first one. The green color represents standby mode. So this is just natural movement, no resistance whatsoever. But if you click onto this yellow mode with a single click of a button, it turns you into assist mode. This is what a lot of elders use, those in need for just walking in general. So what assist mode does is these limbs helps you to get into hip flexion a lot more conveniently.
Wow.
So there's a torque involved in these limbs, and you could reduce the amount of energy expenditure for about 15 to 30%. So you're actually moving with less amount of work. So for those who are in need of walking at the very beginning stage of rehab, for example, it really helps a lot. But if you want to do something completely opposite, with a single click of a button, you could change to exercise mode. Now remember, exercise mode, it self-charges, so you could use it for an unlimited amount of time.
Right.
Now what exercise mode does is, exercise mode puts resistance to these limbs. So it does the opposite of assist mode. Instead of helping you to raise your hip flexors to walk, it actually pushes your legs down, so it makes walking backwards, walking forward a lot more harder. And by double clicking onto this button, you could actually intensify the amount of resistance. So there's 3 levels of intensity, and right now I'm at maximum intensity. This makes it a lot harder for me to get into hip flexion and just moving my legs in general.
You could see the actual work that these parts are doing as you're even just moving a centimeter up.
Yeah,
That's
so we have like
incredible.
different strings, different compartments
Right.
that makes it, makes it very mobile. You could do lunges
More
with
agile,
these.
yeah.
Makes us more agile, more mobile. That's why we're called We Innovate Mobility.
Right.
We aim to develop mobility for any users in general.
That's amazing. I know you mentioned people could use this after maybe getting into an accident, and you could use it for rehab. Do you see a lot of rehabilitation centers using this, or hospitals, or everyday homes, essentially?
Yeah, so we actually have a fitness center dedicated for this Wii Robotics products.
That's incredible.
Yeah, so we've been having a lot of elder clients, those who have a harder time walking, but mostly people with Parkinson's disease. And we aim to train them on treadmills, having them do personalized strength training. So, it helps to aid, but it also helps to strengthen necessary muscles around our hip joints. So it works both ways.
Right.
And our facility has been doing pretty well in Korea after our first launch of our product. In terms of hospitals using this, we actually had B2G clients where we worked with Korean hospitals, and we've received a lot of positive reviews from them
I
as
bet.
well.
I mean, even just seeing at CES, you guys have been doing an incredible job, but I just want to say thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for walking us through this. This has been great.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you
Thank
for having
you.
me.
Why don't you introduce yourself?
Sure. Joe Tam, New York Presbyterian. I'm the Senior Director of Digital Marketing.
All right. And I'm Eric Weisberg. I'm Global Chief Creative Officer at Havas Health Network. We're here live in Hall B, looking at all of the digital health products coming online. We just had a floor tour. We're walking around seeing all this stuff. Like, what is the one thing, Joe, that blew your mind?
Blew my mind. I mean, I got to say, like that smart mirror from was it Withings?
Badass, isn't it?
I mean, I would like to have one of those in my home.
I mean, incredible, right? You walk up, it's measuring all of your vitals. It's using AI to predict what it's seeing there and patterns of what you.
I mean, what's great about it is like it's something you can have in a home setting, but also in a clinical setting.
Yeah.
And it's potential applications are pretty interesting.
Yeah. What do you think? In terms of the clinical setting is I think an important point, because one of the things that we saw here, you see consumer brands wanting to become health brands, you see health brands wanting to become far more consumer driven. But one of the things that seems clear is that physicians are going to start putting more technology in consumers' hands that they want to go home from appointments with. How do you think that's going to change your business?
I mean, it's interesting because as a hospital and health system, we're primarily, what we do on a fundamental basis is helping patients get well, right? But we definitely see that there's a hunger and appetite for consumers, for people to take more proactive management of their health. And the proliferation of these type of devices, technologies, that's what really enables them to do that. So I think there's a lot of partnership opportunities for healthcare providers and institutions like ourselves to look at, are there certain technologies that we can put in the hands of our patients so that they have, more proactive ways to manage their health, and so that when they do come to our offices, we have a more robust view of their health data and information that can really help things like diagnosis, but also just get them well for the long term.
Yeah, I think that makes a ton of sense. What do you think when you go back? What do you say to everyone on the team? The one thing we have to do is blank.
The one thing we have to do. I'm going to go with what I said. I think it's exploring partnerships with the innovators in this space. We're not, as a hospital and health system, we're not going to be the ones that are creating these radical devices, but it's finding the right companies and the right brands, the right innovators in this space. That can, again, put the power in the hands of our patients to better manage their health, and look at what are those type of partnerships that make sense for us.
Yeah, I think we saw the one of the things is about healthy aging, right?
Yeah.
How do we get people? How do we diagnose them? How do we give them the tools to age better? We saw AARP. That feels like a really interesting space for a big health system to get into.
Yeah. I was actually pretty fascinated that out of all the exhibitors here at the CES, or the Digital Health Hall, the AARP was like, they have one of the biggest exhibit areas. That was actually kind of surprising to see, but it actually makes a ton of sense. Healthy aging as a trend, as a lifestyle movement, that's definitely where the direction is going. So it makes a ton of sense for them to kind of be that aggregator or collector of people that are doing some very, very interesting stuff in this space.
All right, well, thanks for talking with us.
Thank you, it's a great pleasure.
CES and a great trip home.
All right, thanks for a great tour.
All right, cheers.
Okay, you guys ready? Hi, everyone. Hi, my name is Mia Libby. I am the head of tech and enterprise advertising at the Wall Street Journal and Dow Jones. I'm thrilled to be here today to have this really interesting conversation, which, when I tell a lot of people that I'm hosting this conversation, they're like, oh my God, I didn't even think about this. I didn't even think about the long tail impact of GLP-1s and how they are changing consumer behavior and how brands are going to have to start really thinking about how to change their brands as a result. And so we have an amazing panel here today. I'll introduce everyone. We have Mary Rochelle Stump, who's the head of U.S. Sales East Coast for Connective Media by United Airlines. Thanks for joining us. We have Chloe DePiece, the EVP, Head of Digital Strategy at Havas Now. We have Brian Robinson, who's our Global Chief Strategy Officer and Head of Growth for the GLP-1 Consultancy here at Havas. And we have Rick Lloyd, who's the founder of Range Health Advisors. He spent 20 years with Novartis, leading consumer health and pharmaceutical organizations. So we have an amazing panel here to talk about the drugs themselves, the trends that we're seeing, and really how we're seeing trends across multiple sectors shift and change. And I think it's really interesting that we're doing this here at CES, where you think about the types of innovations that we're here to see are technology innovations, but this innovation, GLP-1s, this is rapidly changing the world. It's changing consumer behavior. It's changing the way that people are living. It's changing the way that they are consuming multiple facets of their life. And so this is a really relevant conversation, and hats off to Havas for sort of recognizing this moment and being real consultants and blazing this trail. Tell us a little bit about new travel trends that you're seeing and how United has sort of met that moment to provide the best possible experience for its consumers.
Absolutely. So the global travel industry is a $2 billion or $2 trillion industry. And United particularly, we are not only the largest global airline now, but we are hitting record-breaking numbers. We're coming off of the biggest July 4th weekend, the biggest December. In December alone, we had over 550,000 passengers traveling every month. So double-digit growth, and much of that is fueled by these first-time travelers, these next-generation travelers. So in addition to these moments, these experiences that new populations are looking for, we're seeing the motivation for travel change. It's not just about the destination. The journey doesn't start when you land and get off the plane. It starts when you leave the house. And we've been seeing real excitement and interest in adventure travel, these experiences that are more deeply rooted in connecting to self-discovery, connecting to your family, connecting to cultures around the world that are not just the landmarks that you see in traditional photos, but this growth and excitement around discovering new areas of the world, that touches all parts of our business. So again, when we are the largest, we're serving over half of the US adult population. We are adapting, we're pivoting. We just announced our new network and a number of new flights to exciting places like Greenland and Mongolia. These are physically demanding destinations. It's not just a beach trip. So the fact that people are now able to explore in a way that was never possible for them before because they are healthy, they have these new active lifestyles, that's really exciting. And I think that the adventure travel trend is going to continue into the new year. Trends for travel that feed adrenaline, that are leaning into passion points, these are going to continue, and I think that it's opening up opportunities for brands and verticals to lean in and help make that happen.
So health and even longevity are sort of are really at the crux of a lot of what we're talking about here. And Chloe, one marketing trend we're seeing here at CES is health really taking center stage, and we've seen that for years. But I'm curious how you see GLP-1 sort of really fueling that, being that we're here talking about this maybe for the first time.
Yes, absolutely. So first off, you're totally right. The digital health space keeps growing and growing year on year, which is a nice, I think, testament to one of our big beliefs at Havas, which is that every brand is a health brand. So it's really taking over a lot of even the consumer space. With that being said, are GLP-1 fueling this growth? I do think so. In specifically in that, as Brian said earlier, about 10% of the US population is currently taking a GLP-1 drug, which is creating a whole new ecosystem of GLP-1 focused innovations that are being created to meet the new needs of those GLP-1 users. So from full assistance from the start of their journey through like new weight loss concierge or digital health platforms that are going to hold your hand through a virtual consultations, to the prescriptions, to checking in with you, to side effect management, to nutrition and fitness coaching, etc. So you've got Ro, you've got Noom, you've got all these new digital health players that are really making an impact on the field. I've seen a lot of innovations in terms of nutritions and supplements. So you've got a company like Lamy, the Kardashian company, Codich, SoWell, that are introducing all sorts of supplements, whether that's protein supplements, collagen, vitamins, to complement the new needs of GLP-1 users. You've got a lot of innovations in food and beverage and packaging. So yes, we're definitely seeing a lot of innovations fueled by the GLP-1 revolution.
And Rick, I have a question for you, but go ahead.
Well, I was just going to jump in and make an analogy to, and just why I think it's relevant to talk about GLP-1s here.
Yeah.
Because if you think about this, it's so much bigger than just a new class of medicines. It's so much bigger than just a larger population changing behaviors. It goes against every trend in the pharmaceutical industry, which today is about treating smaller and smaller patient populations with more focused medicines. That's most of what's happening. You're looking for a particular mutation or biomarker that you want to treat in order to improve patients' lives. This is one mechanism that we're finding works in diabetes, it works in obesity, heart disease, sleep apnea. These are the approved indications. You know, it's being looked at across many more indications. So from a pharmaceutical perspective, it's much bigger. And almost every study has been successful so far. From a consumer or a services perspective, it's a lot faster, because trends typically play out in those segments over decades or a decade. You know, wellness led to double-digit growth in vitamins, minerals, and supplements, you know, and that was a big trend over a decade.
Yeah.
But, you know, you put those two differences together and you have something that looks more like technology changes. And it's more like AI. It's more like a new iPhone, because it doesn't just touch one part of a person's life. It can open up and change so many different parts. It's just not simple.
So, Brian, I'm going to kick it over to you. Blow our minds from a stats perspective. How many people are going to be on this thing? How many people are on it now? Like, tell us about this. Give us some stats on this rapid growth.
I feel like in Vegas, I got to do more. Like, to blow your mind, I got to do even more. So we'll do more at the casino maybe later on. Let me just start by saying I love that story, Rick, and that's what this is all about, like changing people's lives. Right now, the best estimates are between 9 and 11% of Americans are on GLP-1s, which is really significant. Now to be fair, that is split between those using it for type 2 diabetes and those using it for obesity. So that's not fully starting from zero with obesity, since the indications, these brands were launched for obesity. But it's still a very significant number, and projections have the overall market size globally to be upwards of $500 billion by 2035, which is in Vegas terms even then massive. Yeah. It's really big. And you know what's fueling that? We have a worldwide epidemic of obesity, right? So right now, approximately 1 billion people worldwide are obese. By 2035, that figure is going to be about 8.3 billion, and that include children as young as 5 years old, included in that. And that is a combination of clinically obese and just people simply overweight. So yeah, it's a very sizable market, and that's why there's so much energy behind this right now.
We're going to have to wrap now. Thank you guys so much for joining. Like I said, I think this is an underserved topic, an incredibly interesting one that we should probably come back next year and have the same conversation. I'm sure everything will be different. Thank you guys all for your unique insights, and thanks for everyone attending.
So we had an amazing panel today talking about the businesses around GLP-1s, really talking about the magnitude of this market that is going from about 9 to 10% of the US population to the market potential by 2035 of $500 billion, being driven by the massive problem around obesity and obesity and weight being so central to society, to culture, to health, and that just being an explosion of opportunity for many, many brands. I think that's why we saw CES as a great venue to really have this conversation around all the potential for companies and brands around this rapid weight loss market being driven by the class of medications known as GLP-1s.
I couldn't agree more, and what's been really interesting is to see the impact on the floor. So the digital health space is booming, primarily driven or partially driven by the rise of GLP-1, creating a whole new ecosystem of innovations to meet the new needs of GLP-1 users. So you're seeing innovation across the food and beverage industry, across the supplements and nutrients industry, across the beauty industry, across the travel industry, and we had our panelists from United Airlines join us today to talk about the impact of the GLP-1s on travel. So it's far more than just a pharmaceutical conversation, and it's impacting all sorts of verticals and technology more broadly, which we're seeing come to life at CES.
And that's a great point, Chloe, because really at the heart of this, it's so much more than just, I mean, the health benefits are massive. But at the heart of our conversation is around how people's lives and their behaviors are changed. They're rapidly transforming their world, losing some cases over 20% of their body mass, and as a result, their investments, how they spend their money, how they spend their time is changing. They're becoming more extroverted, right? They're traveling more. They're investing more in fashion.
They're dating.
They're dating. The ramifications are so significant. So an opportunity for brands to really think about how they're showing up to this market of, in some cases, newbies, people that have really never done certain things at this point in their life, new to traveling, new dating online, exercising. The fitness industry is going to see over $6 billion of increased opportunity as a result of all these new people becoming gym members and shopping for gym and exercise wear and fashion wear. So it's really quite significant. I mean, in your mind, Chloe, do you expect in the future at CES to see more presence of companies really looking at markets like this?
Yeah, and it's funny because we were actually scanning or scouting the floor 2 days ago thinking, oh, this brand has no idea that GLP-1 exists or that it's going to impact its business, but I bet you that next year they're going to have a whole GLP-1 product innovation that is targeting those needs. So yes, I see this ecosystem booming in the next couple of years.
Right. And I think like what I saw on the floor a lot today was, a lot of smart technologies, wearables, a lot of devices helping people live healthier lives, and going to the point around people really thinking differently about how they're spending their disposable income. They want to live healthier. Now they feel, GLP-1 users, 86% of them feel that they can accomplish anything in their lives if they put their mind to it. They want brands that can support that ambition, right? And I think that's what we saw a lot about today at the Florence CES is like all new tech and devices that can help people live better and healthier lives.
Hi, I'm here at CES with Colin Gallagher at Happily Robotics, who won Best of Innovation 2025, and we're here to talk more about their technology. Colin, can you tell us more about it?
Sure, thank you, Teresa. So effectively what we're doing at Happily is we're developing a 3D computer mouse. So the concept is super simple. The idea is you have, when the touchpad on your computer keyboard isn't enough, you switch to a mouse to be precise, right? And so what we said is with all this emerging 3D technology, whether it's spatial computing or headsets or robots or drones or all these different types of things, well, you're gonna wanna control those things really precisely, but in 3D. And so with that in mind, we said, okay, what happens if you lift up your mouse? But then that comes with a whole set of challenges where you really need to understand how you're existing in space. And so that's where the real hard part and the secret sauce and the important stuff of what we do is how do we really precisely simulate the sense of touch? So when you're interacting with objects in that three-dimensional space. And so what we have here is a few different examples in our booth about different ideas about what some of our clients or customers have been using these type of technologies for. And so if we go ahead and take a little walkthrough, what you'll see here is one of our partners, Fundamental Surgery. They're based in London, in the UK. And what you can see is Derek is actually doing a shoulder surgery, okay? And so this is an arthroscopic shoulder surgery, and you can actually see him go in, use a haptic 3D mouse to be able to enter, and he's now inserting a drill, and he can feel what it's like to drill into the bone, and when he clicks the drill button, he feels the vibration of the drill. And what's really amazing about this type of technology is it gives you the real-time feedback, so that not only the sense of touch, but also how deep did you go, all the analytics about the motion, the human interaction inside of that scene, and then they can use that to train the surgeons in real time and give them actual feedback that they wouldn't have otherwise. So that's the type of stuff that, this is kind of the first application that we had of our technology. And so what I would like you to do, you get to obviously kind of see some of that stuff.
Yes,
I'd like you to kind of go ahead and try it. This is our highest kind of end device right here. This is what we call our Inverse 3X. But what you can do is I want you to just, without giving you any real feedback, go ahead and explore the environment, move it around, push down. So what you're doing here is you're actually interacting with this virtual world, okay? And what our device does is allows you to use your hands very intuitively and interact with tools, different objects, different environments on digital systems. And so those can be like this is like a computer game, but Teresa's able to feel everything that's going on inside of that scene and do so with an incredible level of realism. So down to the surface textures all the way to, as you saw with Derek, what it's like to drill into the bone and get that kind of feedback. So this is the type of tools that we've been developing. So those have been our kind of B2B higher end devices. But what we said at CES was that we wanted to basically this year bring that same technology to the creative industries. So people who are working in things like 3D modeling, design, art, designing jewelry, designing video game characters. Now you have these things called GANs that generate 3D models and images just by a text prompt. And so the way that we wanted to interact with those was by working with these type of platforms. So we made a very, very portable system, and this is kind of our CES, what we won the CES Innovation Award with, was that the concept was that you could take this device, you could fold it flat, it has the ability to be extremely portable, and then you can use different types of tools and different types of handles for interactions like we have here. And so here's one of these devices working inside of a 3D scene, but these are the type of editors that people who use 3D software are really accustomed to. But now I can feel the objects, the weights, and what you've done here, you guys are working in film. I just created and entirely programmed a trajectory, a path that I want a camera or a character or something to go through in a matter of seconds, which used to take dozens of buttons inputs, me pressing buttons with my keyboard and scrolling with my mouse, all to try and achieve the same thing. So we're really trying to take with this device, build an opportunity to enhance people's productivity. And so we call this the Minverse. This is the Inverse. It's a little bit of an homage to robotics. It's called Inverse Kinematics for the robotics geeks out there. But the idea is that we took those same core technologies and those same products and brought them into this type of consumer device. But one of the final kind of secret sauce, we talked about making it super portable, but we also wanted to make it backwards compatible with people's workflows. So you have the ability to, disconnect. I showed you how you could disconnect a tool. You can snap one in and then use it like a 2D mouse. So all your workflows that you have developed over the last several years remain intact. You don't have to build anything new, but you can now lift it up and get that type of 3D interaction. So that's everything we have here. We won 2 awards this year for this, Best of Innovation in Metaverse Technologies, and also an honoree in the Extended Realities, XR technology, mixed reality stuff. So we're launching that product on Kickstarter today. Here you'll see some more of the interaction devices that we have, which are the different types of tools that we've been selling more on the B2B side of things. But what I think is probably the most sci-fi aspect of what we do is this. If we look over here, this is kind of this physical AI, robotics programming, interacting with digital systems, navigating drones, these type of things you see a few of my colleagues here that they're handling. And so what you actually are witnessing is they're able to control these robots very, very intuitively with their hands, because basically human motion is nothing but a language. And we're super comfortable these days in the last year or two with the advent of things like ChatGPT. So taking text and making chatbots and things like this out of the text, which is a language. But now we're looking at basically capturing human motion. And so the ability to basically take this type of information and use it to program robots really quickly and intuitively. You can take somebody who's been working on a factory floor for 30 years, knows nothing about programming, nothing about how to work with a robot, but now they can use something as natural as their hands to perform a task record thousands of the different places that a robot needs to be through, move through, and do it in a matter of seconds, and then replay it back with a level of precision and a level of accuracy that was impossible before. So these are things that we're working on.
Yeah, that is absolutely incredible. You're creating very unique and amazing opportunities.
Oh, thank you.
But thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us about this.
Oh yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate that. And we are located at booth 55529 in the Venetian. So if we have a lot of demos for people to play with. If you're wandering around and want to try a CES Best of Innovation Award, please feel free to stop by, and we'd love to show you what we've been working on. Thank you.
Perfect.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Havas Café. This is day 2 of programming. We're excited to dive in. We are talking about a lot of technology this week, and we are joined here to talk about the future of AI for platforms with Meta. We've got Mike Bregman, Chief Activation Officer, and we've got Dave Surgin from Meta. Welcome. Let's get into it.
I know that Meta has been investing billions in AI. I know it's been a core focus for the organization for years. There's a lot that's happening in the consumer side. There's wearables that you're going to give out to everyone in the crowd today. That's what I've heard, potentially. Look at how excited everyone is. But there's also a lot in ad tech. What is the strategy? What's the focus? What's the big win for Meta from everything you guys are doing?
Yeah, so we have been investing in AI for over 10 years. Our first AI-powered product was rather controversial when it first launched. It was called Newsfeed. It was hotly debated when it came out, and we have seen over time that there are many use cases for AI to solve very clear problems in people's lives, help them stay connected to their loved ones and to their favorite things. So this has been something that has been tens of billions of dollars year after year after year. Thinking through what is the future of consumer experience, what can we build for developers. We have the leading large language model that is open sourced called Llama. And we also are thinking about what is the future of our ad systems. So our ad systems benefit a great deal from our investments in AI, and there's a lot more coming.
So walk us through ad tech. There's a lot of audience targeting, there's content optimization, there's content generation with Gen AI, you've got Llama behind the scenes, you've got some user engagement features you guys have launched. Just walk through, what does the ad tech world look like within Meta?
Yeah, as it relates to advertising, we have something called the Advantage Suite. It is an automated suite of solutions that really allow you to do things faster. Whether it be through finding an audience or a number of different things. The Advantage Suite is really mature. So we like to say there's AI 1.0, which is machine learning. That's why our ad systems do such a wonderful job at helping find the people that will take an action on what you're looking for your business.
So let's geek out for a minute. We have a lot of clients, some of them here that are in retail. They've got products that they want to sell. Sometimes content works. Sometimes you have to make it better. We know from Black Friday, Cyber Monday, you're getting a lot of signals. So there's people actively researching products. They're looking at lots of different ads. How do you get users to be really excited? What does the back-end interface do to change around the creative to get users hooked in?
Yeah, so this is something that is quite powerful. And this use case in particular is, I think, what is going to be a leading example here. So as we have our Advantage Suite, our ad systems do a really great job of helping find people that will take an action. So this is the big macro shift, and we discuss and debate with all of our agency friends and advertiser friends. But we're seeing a macro shift from audience targeting to outcome targeting. So when we're potentially introducing a brand or a product to someone, we will personalize that and find the right product for you that you will take an action on.
So walk me through the Meta ecosystem. You guys have Facebook, there's Instagram, there's Threads that's now picking up a lot of new activity, new user volume, comments, maybe their thoughts, their passions. You got Reels that's launched, huge amounts of volume of videos that are being watched. WhatsApp also has its own ecosystem of different messages. How do you piece it all together? How do you get insights and actions out of that?
Yeah, I mean, we really feel like having this unified ad system across our family of apps is a real superpower. So we have well more than 3 billion people using our family of apps every month. So you did an amazing job with the list, by the way. I think you got them all.
Thank you. Thank you.
And
mastered it.
so Threads is the newest addition to this family of apps with well more than 300 million people using Threads monthly. As we think about the wide range of surfaces that we have across the family of apps, Threads currently does not have ads, but will at some point in the future. We feel like there's a lot, there's just a tremendous amount of value that is added because we have this wide range of advertising surfaces or ad units across a wide range of needs, which can lead to many different ways to tell a brand story or to make that conversion.
So let's talk about ASC. You mentioned Advantage Plus. It's the AI software that allows you to optimize based on the intent signals, the targets, the creative, what's happening in terms of performance. There's shopping campaigns that you can actively link to Advantage Plus. We're running those for a lot of our clients. The results have been amazing. Walk us through just how it works.
Yeah, I mean, so we talked a little bit about how that idea of creative diversity helps us find the people that are going to take an action, and we feel like retail is going to be a really strong place for that. As we think about the future of that Advantage suite, Gen AI is where we are really excited about the future. So right now we have this automated media suite, but our Gen AI for creative solutions are where we are much earlier in that maturity cycle, and we are testing and learning a lot. So right now, the Gen AI for Creative Suite is being used by over 1 million advertisers and has produced well more than 15 million live ads on our systems. It is still very early, so as we think about big brands, we are very careful about when and where we want to test. But if you're at a big, let's say a big CPG brand and you have many different brands in your portfolio, and so that's why we love setting up these learning agendas with folks like Havas and your clients so that we can figure out how can we test all of these new features, how can we make sure that you are along for the ride, providing us feedback on what's working and what you want to see for big brands, and then understanding how do we perhaps help just unlock performance. And so this idea of creative diversity over and over again is something that we are continually trying to produce new solutions to help achieve that creative diversity.
So switching gears a little bit, you're wearing the Ray-Ban sunglasses. How does it work? What are they recording? How does the information get stored? What is Meta doing with it, as much as you're comfortable saying?
Yeah, well, it stays on the glasses for starters, for the most part. So Ray-Ban Meta smart glasses, we have been really excited to, we feel like we have found a bit of product market fit there. Ray-Ban Meta smart glasses have speakers built in, they capture images, they capture video, and we also were able to integrate Meta AI, which is our consumer AI assistant. And so by having the AI baked into these smart glasses, it unlocks a whole world of use cases. We feel like it is a leading AI wearable. Types of use cases start to hint at what the future of computing looks like. And so we have had this very long-term mindset with thinking through what is the future of wearables, what is the role of AI in those wearables. And so the Ray-Ban Meta smart glasses really, it comes together a tremendous amount of vision all in a single product. So these glasses, they just get better and better. It's pretty amazing. So we are rolling out new features all the time.
Whether it's talking to you or whether it's showing it to you, it's trying to make your life a lot easier.
Exactly. There might be things that you are using it for as you're on the move, and there's other things you might be using it for as you're sitting down or on your commute. And so these are where there's a lot of user experience and design decisions that need to be made, but we feel like we have found a really interesting and compelling product that will allow for this wide range of uses.
We can finish there. Dave, really appreciate you coming and joining us here at the Havas Café. Covered a lot of ground. Hopefully the folks that are watching learned a little bit or learned a lot about how AI works within Meta. But thanks once again for joining us.
Thank you so much, and we're so excited about all the progress we've been making with Havas, so thank you for having me, and happy CES. So we've been investing in AI for a very long time, and we also have a very strong vision about where we believe the future of computing is going, and we believe that smart glasses are going to play a really strong role there. For today, we have Ray-Ban Meta smart glasses. They are here. They look pretty close to identical to your traditional pair of Ray-Bans, and they have ability to capture video, capture photos, And they also have Meta AI baked in, so you can ask questions, and the glasses get better and better. And so we also are really building for the future of connection for all. So we developed a partnership with EssilorLuxottica. They make some of the most popular glasses in the world, and they have been a really wonderful partner. And so these are just a few grams more than your standard pair of Ray-Bans. And when you're building, these are something that are going in on your face, and so they need to look really amazing. And so there's a lot more coming with that partnership, but they look great and they solve very clear problems in people's lives, so we're quite excited.
I'm very excited to bring this back to our clients to show them how to use the latest innovations, personalize their campaigns, get new creative, get new audience signals, targets, improve conversions, ROI. That's sort of what we do.
We are so excited at CES. I feel like it is all about what is the future that is coming, how are we putting those steps together. And so we're just quite excited about what that leads to. What is the AI-informed marketing future with Havas?
Feel like we got our work cut out for us.
So we talked a little bit about our Advantage suite of automated media solutions. We talked about what's coming with Gen AI for creative. There's also going to be a lot happening with messaging. And so the future is quite bright. There's a lot of testing and learning happening.
There's no shortage of experimentation that we have to do for our clients to get better results.
And as we think about the future of wearables and the future of computing, right now we have Ray-Ban Metas here today. We feel like we have great product market fit, and we have a really wonderful lineup of things coming in the future to help us achieve that broader vision.
I'm excited.
Same here.